Here it's Webster Korean again with the immigration regulation session. In Module 3, our agenda is traveling, dependence, violation of status, reinstatement, and criminal activity, your responsibilities, and resources. Traveling documents. You need a valid passport, at least valid for 6 months into the future, a valid visa, or renew it before you return, unless you come from Canada or Bermuda, where you don't need a valid visa. You will need a valid I-20 and a valid DS 2019 with a travel signature. You will need proof of full-time enrollment, such as a class schedule or your transfer. Proof of financial support. You may need to carry also with you how you pay for your education, bank statement from you or from your sponsor. And then the other documents for traveling is like for your driver license or state identification. This document is only needed for domestic traveling. Traveling and annual vacation. International students on F1 or J1 are allowed a vacation term once a year. The time when you have a vacation varies whether you're a graduate student or undergraduate student. And here is the distinction. 1. Undergraduate student annual vacation is always in the summer. They can enroll or can prefer just not to enroll. While for graduate students, it depends when they start their program. They must have completed 4 consecutive terms before they can have a vacation in their 5th term. Therefore, graduate students typically have their vacation term in their 5th term. And during annual vacation, students are not required to be enrolled, but they can do so if they wish, or they can just be enrolled part-time. Annual vacation can be spent inside or outside the United States. Traveling inside the United States. You can travel literally everywhere in the United States. No special permission is required. However, we encourage you to carry your immigration documents when you travel away from the local area. Meaning, if you live in St. Louis area, also inform others when, your friends and so on, where you will be when traveling away from the local area. Traveling outside the United States. To travel to a third country, you may need a visa to enter that country. Your visa must be valid when you return to the United States. If not, renew it before you return. You must get a travel signature before you leave the United States. It's very important. A lot of people forget to get a travel signature and then they get into problem when they come back to the United States. You must also be in a good status to travel outside the United States and to be able to re-enter. You must have spent less than 5 months to be readmitted under your current document. Types of short-term travel, less than 5 months, includes annual vacation, school breaks, personal leave of absence. There's a restriction on re-entry. Students in their grace period, that is, their 60 days grace period after completing Their degree or optional practical training cannot travel and re-enter the United States. And this is the same for the J1, although they have 30 days after program completion to stay in the United States. A student who is out of status is restricted from traveling and re-entering the U.S. And then a student who has been out of status for more than 5 months will not be permitted to enter the United States. Any student who has a pending application for change of status, once they leave the country, that means they have done with their application. It will be cancelled, and when they come back, they need to have a valid visa to enter the United States. Traveling that is going to take a long time, more than 5 months, so we call a long absence. You will need a current I-20 or DS-2019, but you must know that this is going to be terminated or cancelled. Basically, this is going to be done temporarily. And you need to know that your I-20 will be terminated. Your travel is going to be more than 5 months. So I really meant to say if you are going to be out of the country for more than 5 months, your I-20 or DS-2019 will be terminated or cancelled. It means you must pay a new civil fee after requesting a new I-20 or DS-2019. Then you have to pay a new civil fee. You must also apply for a new visa by going to the U.S. Embassy or consulate. Before you travel, make sure you meet travel for we call leave of absence if you cannot be in school, because you must go to attend to some personal or family problem in the middle of the semester, which is not your vacation time. Then you need to meet with international and academic advisors. And then you will be required to submit leave of absence request form, which is available online, and then obtain a travel signature. And you must inform us at least 30 days before you return, so that we can request that your I-20 be reinstated or reactivated before you can return. Finally, whenever you travel, make sure you get a travel signature. Whenever you travel outside the United States, make sure you get a travel signature. We recommend that you check with us every 6 months if you travel a lot, so that we can ensure that the I-20 or DS-2019 is active. Remember, travel signature is only required for students who are returning to Webster University. If you are leaving the country for good, you can inform us, but you don't need the travel signature. Let's talk about dependents. What about students that have dependents? And dependents are defined as spouse and unmarried children who are under 21. You must have enough funding, health insurance to be able to invite your dependents to study. F2s can only take classes on a recreational basis. While J2s may study part or full time. Employment for dependents. F2s cannot work legally in the United States. However, J2 may apply for employment authorization documents to USCIS. If the student is out of status, the dependents will be out of status as well. If the student obtains program extension, the F2 also receives the same extension. Violation of status. That means you've not been following the rules. If you are out of status, which is if you are in violation of status, this could lead to this could happen to you. If you can see the picture here, an individual being arrested for immigration and customs enforcement, and that could happen to you if you are not following the rules. Reinstatement. Reinstatement is the process by which F1 or J1 students regain their status by applying to USCIS. This must be filed as soon as possible. And then you must demonstrate that the violation was not beyond your control, e.g. illness or natural disaster overtime. To apply for reinstatement, you must have been out of status You must not have been out of status for more than 5 months. You don't have a record of repeated or willful violations. Are currently enrolled in full-time or intend to enroll full-time in the near future. Have not engaged in unauthorized employment. Are not deportable on any grounds. Criminal activity. Criminal activities can affect your immigration status. If arrested, please encourage you to hire a criminal defense lawyer and an immigration lawyer so that the two can come up with a solution to your issue. There are deportable offenses, murder or crimes of violence, possession of firearms, and drug trafficking. The following are the consequences of criminal activity: inadmissibility. That means in the future, if you want to come to the United States, you will be denied a visa. Deportation. You may be removed from the U.S. for failure to maintain status. Consequences of criminal activity. Inadmissibility. That means in the future, you will not be eligible for visa to enter the U.S., be it a tourist visa or any other visa. 2. Deportation. You may be removed from the U.S. for failure to maintain status. 3. Termination of status. Your I-20 will be terminated for this. Ineligibility for benefits. If you are applying for adjustment of status, changing your status from F1 to something else, or applying for employment authorizations, such as your OPT, etc., you will be ineligible if you committed a crime. Finally, your responsibility. Enroll full-time. Obtain permission from your academic advisor and international services to reduce your course load. Keep your documents valid at all times. Your I-20, GS 2019, visa, I-94, and obey the rules of employment. Do not work off campus. Do not work more than 20 hours a week on campus. Get permission first to work off campus. Never accept unauthorized employment. You must also report change of program. Report to your academic advisor and to international services any change in academic program in your major academic level, master's to master's or master's to doctorate. Report change of address. Students are required to report change of address and name. This must be done within 10 days. So report any change in your legal name or change in your U.S. address, telephone number, or email immediately to international services. Remember the 10 days. You are supposed to do that within 10 days. Make sure you travel with proper documents. Travel with the most current I-20 or DS 2019. Get the DSO or the RO signature before you travel. Check that your visa is valid before you travel outside the U.S. Keep your passport valid. Attend classes. Please attend all classes faithfully. Make payments on time. Pay all charges on the billing statement from the business office in timely manner. Obey U.S. laws. Comply with every U.S. and state law. If not, you may be out of status, arrested, or deported. Webster University is required by law to report any and all immigration status violation to the Department of Homeland Security. Communicate constantly. Communicating constantly with international services is extremely important. Immigration advice. Please obtain immigration advice from the following people: international student advisors, U.S. government agency. However, please do not obtain immigration advice from your friends, your professors, your academic advice. They are not the expert in this field. Finally, this is a link to the different resources that I've used and that you can find very interesting. You can go ahead and read on your own what is said in this section. Thank you. I hope you enjoy this session and you have learned something during the 3 modules. Bye-bye.